There is something living inside you right now that has nothing to do with who you are, what you believe, or where you were born. It is older than language, older than civilization, older than the dinosaurs. It is you, and yet it is not you at all. Every time you swallow, a muscle in your throat fires in a sequence first designed for a fish breathing underwater. Every time you hiccup, your body replays a reflex so ancient it predates lungs entirely. And somewhere in your earliest development, before you were even born, you briefly grew structures that looked unmistakably like gill slits. Not because something went wrong, but because something went exactly right, exactly as it has for 500 million years. You are not just a person. You are a document written and rewritten 1,000 times, where every old layer still bleeds through. Long before there were hands or eyes or voices, there were fish. Jawless, soft-bodied creatures navigating shallow Cambrian seas over 500 million years ago. These animals had a feature that would quietly outlast every mass extinction that followed. A flexible rod running the length of their body, a primitive spine. In humans, that structure never disappears. It transforms. The soft discs cushioning your vertebrae, the ones that slip and cause back pain, are the direct descendants of that ancient rod. The sea is not just something your ancestors left behind. Part of it came with them. Consider the nerve that controls your voice box. Rather than traveling directly from your brain to your larynx, a journey of only a few centimeters, it loops all the way down into your chest, wraps around the aorta, and climbs back up. In a giraffe, this same nerve travels over 15 feet to accomplish what could be done in inches. This is not bad design. It is fossilized design. In fish, that nerve ran a straight line past the heart to reach the gill arches just ahead of it. As our ancestors evolved necks and the heart migrated downward, the nerve had no choice but to follow, getting longer with every generation. Your voice, every word you speak, travels through a detour carved by evolution in a creature that breathed water. And then there are the hiccups. They serve no known purpose in adult humans, but in the context of evolutionary history, they make perfect sense, because they are not ours. Tadpoles and lungfish use a nearly identical motor pattern to force water over their gills while keeping it from entering their lungs. The same nerve signals, the same muscle contractions, the same sequence. When you hiccup, you are briefly running software written for an animal that has not existed in its original form for hundreds of millions of years. Your body simply never deleted the file. In the earliest weeks of human development, the embryo passes through stages that would have looked familiar to any biologist studying fish. At around 4 weeks, a human embryo develops small ridges along the throat structurally identical to the gill arches of a fish. In fish, these become gills. In humans, they are redirected into the bones of the jaw, the middle ear, the structures that let you eat, hear, and speak. Your jaw is a modified gill arch. The tiny bones transmitting sound in your inner ear were once part of a fish's jaw. Evolution did not build you from scratch. It rebuilt an old house so many times that the original walls are still standing. You just cannot see them from the outside. Nature is not an engineer designing optimal solutions. Nature is a tinkerer, working only with what already exists, layering new functions onto old structures that cannot be discarded without unraveling everything built on top of them. You carry the evidence of every ancestor who survived long enough to have children. The fish that crawled from the water. the small mammal that hid from dinosaurs in the dark. Every one of them left something behind: a blueprint, a detour, a reflex, a bone shaped by a world that no longer exists. The next time your back aches, remember it was designed for an animal that never sat. The next time you hiccup, know that a creature with gills is getting the credit. And the next time you hear your own voice traveling its absurd, ancient looping route, remember that you are not just speaking. You are carrying a signal that began in a shallow sea 500 million years ago, passed forward through an unbroken chain of survival that led, against all odds, precisely here. You are the ocean, remembering itself.